Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. How do you see your weekends? Are they just a break or retreat from the hustle? Or are they your secret weapon for success? Because, my friends, the weekend is a window of opportunity. Because if you think you know your time, while the world sleeps in, you can wake up with purpose. While others waste time, you can invest it. Why? Because how you treat your weekend determines how you enter the week ahead. Preparation is where it all begins. Take time to plan. Either you run the day or the day runs you. I say either you run the weekend or the weekend runs your life. Sit down, review your goals, and map out the week. When Monday comes, you won't be scrambling. You'll be leading. But balance matters too. Motivation isn't just about grinding endlessly. It's about energy management. Recharge your batteries. Physically, emotionally, and mentally. Go for that walk. Spend time with family. Read a book that inspires you. Rest is not laziness. It's part of the formula for greatness. And let me remind you of the power of small wins. Sometimes we get caught up in the big picture and forget the importance of small steps. Clean your workspace. Finish that one task you've been avoiding. These victories build momentum. Momentum is motivation's best friend. Finally, use your weekend for reflection. Ask yourself, am I moving toward my goals? Am I growing as a person? Write it down. Journaling isn't just for poets. It's a tool for clarity. So my friends, this weekend, don't just exist. Thrive. Plan. Recharge. Reflect. Use these 2 days to set your future on fire. And when Monday comes, you won't just be ready for the week will be ready for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a simple yet profound question. How do you view your weekends? Are they a sanctuary, a time to retreat, to kick back, relax, and escape the hustle of the week? Or are they something much more, a hidden gem of opportunity that most people overlook? Because here's the truth. How you approach your weekends says a lot about how you approach your life. And the weekends are often seen as a break, a reprieve from the grind. But I want you to shift that perspective entirely. What if I told you the weekend is not just a break, but a bridge to progress, to growth, and to becoming the person you want to be? It's during these days when the world slows down that you can pick up the pace. It's when others hit pause that you can press play on the parts of your life that matter most. You see, weekends are a gift, and like any gift, it's not about what's inside, it's about what's inside it. It's about what you do with it. The first step to staying motivated during the weekend is realizing its potential. The weekend is a tool, and how you use it will either sharpen your edge or dull your ambition. It's the time to recalibrate the plan and to invest in yourselves so that when Monday comes, you're not just stepping into the week, you're charging into it with purpose. Let's talk about preparation, because that's where motivation begins. Either you run the day or the day runs you. And I believe the same applies to weekends. Either you run your weekend or it runs you. Too many people wake up on a Saturday morning with no plan, no purpose, and no direction. They let the weekend take control, drifting from one distraction to another. And before they know it, Sunday night arrives, and they're left wondering where all the time went. Don't let that be you. The secret to staying motivated is simple. Plan your weekend with intention. Sit down on Friday night or Saturday morning, grab a notebook or a piece of paper, and map out your goals. What do you want to accomplish? What tasks have been lingering on your to-do list for far too long? What steps can you take to move closer to your dreams? Write it all down. A plan gives you clarity, and clarity breeds motivation. But let me be clear. Motivation doesn't mean working nonstop. It's not about grinding 24/7 or pushing yourself to exhaustion. In fact, one of the most important aspects of staying motivated is knowing when to rest. The weekend is a perfect time to recharge your batteries, to renew your energy so that you can tackle the week ahead with vigor. Rest isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. Take care of yourself physically. Go for a walk, hit the gym, or simply spend some time outdoors. Nature has a way of restoring our spirits and clearing our minds. Take care of yourself mentally. Read a book that inspires you. Listen to a podcast that challenges your thinking, or spend a few minutes meditating in silence. And take care of yourself emotionally. Spend time with loved ones, connect with friends, and do things that bring you joy. Balance is key. It's about finding the sweet spot between rest and action, between relaxation and productivity. When you find that balance, motivation becomes a natural part of your weekend routine, not something you have to force. Now let's talk about the power of small wins. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that motivation comes from accomplishing big, grandiose goals. But the truth is, motivation often comes from the little things, the small, seemingly insignificant victories that build momentum over time. Think about it. When was the last time you felt a surge of motivation after completing a simple task? Maybe you cleaned your workspace, organized your closet, or crossed a minor item off your to-do list. It felt good, didn't it? That's because small wins create a sense of progress, and progress is the fuel that keeps us moving forward. And progress is the fuel that keeps us moving forward. So don't underestimate the power of small wins. Use your weekend to tackle those little tasks that have been nagging at you. Clean up your living space. Finish that email you've been avoiding. Or start a project you've been putting off. Each small win will give you a sense of accomplishment. And that sense of accomplishment will ignite your motivation. But motivation isn't just about doing, it's also about reflecting. The weekend is the perfect time to pause and reflect on your journey. Take a moment to look back at the past week. What did you accomplish? What challenges did you face? What lessons did you learn? Reflection isn't just about celebrating your successes. It's also about identifying areas for improvement. And while you're reflecting on the past, don't forget to look ahead to the future. What are your goals for the week ahead? What steps can you take to move closer to your dreams? Write it all down. Journaling is one of the most powerful tools for self-reflection and personal growth. It helps you gain clarity, stay focused, and track your progress over time. And motivation isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you create. It's a habit, a mindset, and a way of life. And the weekend is your playground for cultivating that motivation. So, let me leave you with this weekend. Don't just let the days slip by. Don't just exist, thrive. Take control of your time. Plan with intention. Rest with purpose. And reflect with clarity. Focus on small wins. Embrace balance. And use these 2 days to set yourself up for success. Because when Monday comes, you won't just be ready for the week will be ready for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. How do you see your weekends? Are they a time to relax, to step away from the hustle and grind, to disconnect and unwind? Or do you see them as something more, an opportunity, a moment in your week where you have the freedom to invest in yourself, your dreams, and your future? Because I'm here to tell you something that can change the way you approach your weekends forever. How you treat your weekends directly impacts the trajectory of your life. Think about it. The weekend is a precious gift of time, a space where you can step back, refocus, and realign with what truly matters. Yet so many people squander it. They approach their weekends without intention, drifting aimlessly from one activity to the next, waiting for Monday to come around as if they're on autopilot. But here's the secret. The weekend is not a pause in the journey. It's a powerful tool that can propel you forward. The question is, are you going to use it? The first step to staying motivated during the weekend is to reframe how you see it. The weekend is not just time off, it's time on. It's time to work on yourself, your goals, and your vision. Too many people approach the weekend as if it's a break from responsibility. But the truth is that the weekend is when you can take ownership of your life in ways the weekday grind doesn't allow. It's a time to invest in yourself while others are letting their guard down. This doesn't mean you have to spend every waking moment working, but it does mean that you approach your weekend with a sense of purpose and intention. Let's talk about purpose for a moment. Purpose is the engine of motivation. Without purpose, it's easy to drift, to feel like you're simply going through the motions. But with purpose, every action, every decision, and every moment becomes meaningful. The weekend is a time to reconnect with your purpose. What are you working toward? What are your dreams, your goals, your aspirations? If you don't have clarity on these things, take time during the weekend to figure them out. Sit down with a journal, write out your thoughts, and get clear on what you want out of life. Because when you have a clear purpose, staying motivated becomes natural. It's no longer a struggle. It's a state. Once you have clarity on your purpose, the next step is preparation. Either you run the day or the day runs you. This applies to the weekend just as much as it does to the work week. If you don't have a plan for your weekend, it will slip away from you before you even realize it. Preparation is the foundation of motivation. It gives you direction, focus, and a sense of control. Take some time on Friday night or Saturday morning to plan out your weekend. What do you want to accomplish? What steps can you take to move closer to your goals? Be specific. Write it all down. A clear plan is like a road map. It shows you where you're going and how to get there. And please write north of the Congress block. But staying motivated isn't just about planning. It's also about balance. One of the biggest misconceptions about motivation is that it's all about nonstop action, about pushing yourself to the limit every single day. But the truth is, motivation requires energy, and energy requires rest. The weekend is the perfect time to recharge your batteries. The weekend is the perfect time to recharge your batteries, both physically and mentally. This doesn't mean being lazy or unproductive. It means finding activities that rejuvenate you, that restore your energy, and that bring you joy. And take care of your body. Go for a run, hit the gym, or take a walk in nature. Physical activity is one of the best ways to boost your mood and increase your energy levels. Take care of your mind. Read a book, listen to a podcast, or spend some time meditating. And take care of your spirit. Spend time with loved ones, connect with friends, or simply enjoy the beauty of the moment. Rest isn't a sign of weakness. It's a critical part of the process. When you take the time to recharge, you come back stronger, more focused, and more motivated. Now, let's talk about the importance of small wins. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to stay motivated is focusing too much on the big picture. While it's important to have big goals, It's the small, consistent actions that lead to progress. The weekend is the perfect time to focus on these small wins. Tackle those little tasks that have been lingering on your to-do list. Clean up your workspace, organize your schedule, or finish that one thing you've been procrastinating on. Each small win creates a sense of accomplishment, and that sense of accomplishment fuels your motivation. Motivation is like a fire. Start small, but with the right fuel, it grows into something powerful. Small wins are the kindling that keep your fire burning. They build momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces in the world. Once you have momentum on your side, staying motivated becomes effortless. But motivation isn't just about doing, it's also about being. The weekend is a time to reflect, to pause, and to look inward. Take a moment to assess where you are and where you're going. What progress have you made toward your goals? What challenges have you faced? What lessons have you learned? Reflection is a powerful tool for growth. It helps you gain clarity, learn from your experiences, and stay focused on what truly matters. And while you're reflecting, don't forget to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Every step forward is a step in the right direction. Every effort you make brings you closer to your dreams. Celebrate those moments because they're proof that you're making progress. The weekend is also a time to look ahead. Use this time to set your intentions for the week to come. What do you want to achieve? What challenges do you anticipate? How will you overcome them? Write it all down. There's something powerful about putting your thoughts on paper. It turns your ideas into tangible actions, and it gives you a sense of accountability. Motivation isn't something that just happens, it's something you create. It's a mindset, a habit, and a way of life. And the weekend is your laboratory for cultivating that motivation. It's a time to experiment, to try new things, and to push yourself out of your comfort zone. It's a time to reconnect with your purpose, to refocus on your goals, and to recharge your energy. So how do you stay motivated during the weekend? You stay motivated by treating it as an opportunity, not a break. You stay motivated by planning with intention, by balancing rest and action, and by focusing on small wins. You stay motivated by reflecting on your journey, by celebrating your progress, and by looking ahead to the future. This weekend, don't just let the days slip by. Don't just exist, thrive. Take control of your time. Use these 2 days to invest in yourself, to grow, and to move closer to your dreams. Because when Monday comes, you won't just be ready for the week. The week will be ready for the week. And that, my friends, is how you stay motivated during the weekend. The weekend. Just 2 days out of the 7 in a week, but those 2 days hold immense potential. Most people see the weekend as a time to rest, to escape the grind, to step away from responsibilities. They tell themselves, I'll get back to it on Monday, as if their dreams and ambitions can wait, as if success doesn't care about what happens on Saturday or Sunday. But the truth is, the weekend is a secret weapon, an opportunity to get ahead while others step back. It's not just a break from the hustle, it's the time to double down on what matters most. Think about it. 5 days of the week, you're caught up in obligations, work, meetings, deadlines, and commitments. But the weekend? The weekend is yours. It's a blank canvas, a stretch of time where you have complete freedom to choose how you spend it. So the question is, how are you spending it? Are you letting it pass you by, or are you seizing the opportunity? Motivation doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's something you cultivate, something you build, something you sustain. The weekend is your playground for creating that motivation, for fueling the fire that will carry you through the week ahead. But it all starts with a mindset shift. You have to stop seeing the weekend as time off and start seeing it as time on your goals, time on your growth, time on your growth. We tell our students, time on your growth, time on becoming the person you're meant to be. The first step to staying motivated during the weekend is understanding its potential. Too many people treat the weekend as if it's disconnected from the rest of their lives, as if it exists in a vacuum. But the weekend is not separate. It's part of the bigger picture. What you do on Saturday and Sunday sets the tone for your entire week. It's the foundation, the springboard, the launching pad for everything that follows. If you waste the weekend, you start the week behind. But if you use the weekend wisely, you gain an edge, a head start that can make all the difference. So how do you use the weekend wisely? It starts with intention. Motivation thrives on purpose. When you wake up on a Saturday morning, don't just let the day happen to you. Don't just let the day happen to you. Take control. Decide what you want to achieve. Sit down with a notebook or a journal and map out your goals for the weekend. What needs to get done? What steps can you take to move closer to your dreams? Be specific. Don't just write, be productive. Write, complete chapter 3 of my book, or organize my workspace, or run 5 miles. A clear plan creates clarity, and clarity fuels motivation. The third mistake we make successfully is not write formally, professionally, then D, right now. But staying motivated isn't just about action. It's also about balance. You can't run on empty, and you can't sustain motivation without energy. The weekend is the perfect time to recharge, to refuel, to restore yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. And this doesn't mean being lazy or avoiding work. It means finding the right balance between rest and productivity. Take care of your body. Go for a run, do yoga, or take a hike. Physical activity isn't just good for your health. It's good for your mind. Clears your thoughts, boosts your mood, and gives you a sense of accomplishment. Take care of your mind. Read a book that inspires you. Listen to a podcast that challenges your thinking, or spend some time journaling. And take care of your emotions. Spend time with people who uplift you, who support you, who remind you why you're doing what you're doing. Motivation is a holistic process. When you nurture yourself in all areas, you create the energy you need to keep going. But let's talk about something that often gets overlooked. The power of small wins. When we think about motivation, we often think about big goals, big achievements, big milestones. And while those things are important, they're not what keeps us going day to day. What keeps us going are the small wins, the little victories that remind us we're making progress. We sometimes forget that we're making progress. Now, the weekend is a perfect time to focus on these small wins. Pick 1 or 2 small tasks that you've been putting off and get them done. Maybe it's cleaning out your closet, replying to an email, or finishing a book you started weeks ago. It doesn't matter how small the task is. What matters is that you complete it. Because every time you complete a task, you create momentum. And momentum is the secret sauce of motivation. Once you get started, it's easier to keep going. One small win leads to another, and another, and another, until you're unstoppable. Never let somebody tell you duplicate shit. But motivation isn't just about doing, it's also about being. The weekend is a time to reflect, to pause, to look inward. Take a moment to think about where you are in your journey. What progress have you made toward your goals? What challenges have you faced? What lessons have you learned? Reflection isn't just about celebrating your successes. It's also about identifying areas for improvement. It's about being honest with yourself, about recognizing where you've fallen short and figuring out how to do better. And while you're reflecting, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Too often we get so caught up in what we haven't done that we forget to appreciate what we have done. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Every effort you make brings you closer to your dreams. Celebrate those moments because they're proof that you're capable, that you're resilient, that you're moving forward. The weekend is also a time to look ahead, to set your intentions for the week to come. What do you want to accomplish? What challenges do you anticipate? How will you overcome them? Write it all down. There's something powerful about putting your thoughts on paper. It turns your ideas into actions, your goals into realities. And it gives you a sense of accountability. When you write something down, it's no longer just a thought, it's a commitment. Motivation isn't something that just happens to you, it's something you create. It's a habit, a mindset, a way of life. And the weekend is your laboratory for cultivating that motivation. It's a time to experiment, to try new things, to push yourself out of your comfort zone. It's a time to reconnect with your purpose, to refocus on your goals, and to recharge your energy. So, how do you stay motivated during the weekend? You stay motivated by treating it as an opportunity, not a break. You stay motivated by planning with intention, by balancing rest and action, and by focusing on small wins. You stay motivated by reflecting on your journey, by celebrating your progress, and by looking ahead to the future. This weekend, don't just let the days slip by. Don't just exist. Thrive. Take control of your time. Use these 2 days to invest in yourself, to grow, and to move closer to your dreams. Because when Monday comes, you won't just be ready for the week will be ready for you. And that, my friends, is how you stay motivated during the weekend. The weekend arrives, and with it, a sense of freedom and possibility. For many, it's a chance to relax, unwind, and escape from the demands of the work week. But what if I told you that the weekend holds far more potential than just being a time to rest? What if I told you that the weekend could be the most powerful tool in your journey toward success, growth, and fulfillment? Staying motivated during the weekend begins with a mindset shift. Too often people see these 2 days as a pause, a time to put everything on hold and disconnect from their goals. They tell themselves, I'll get back to it on Monday, as if progress can be put on a shelf and picked up later. But life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't wait for the calendar to tell you it's time to act. The weekend isn't just a break. It's an opportunity, a gift of time where you have control over how you spend it. And this will be your control, your mindset, your exact outlook on life. The key to staying motivated during the weekend starts with intention. Motivation doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's something you cultivate. And the foundation of motivation is purpose. Without purpose, it's easy to drift, to let the days slip by without any real progress. But when you're connected to your purpose, every action you take becomes meaningful. Purpose gives you direction, and direction fuels motivation. On Saturday morning, before you do anything else, take a moment to connect with your purpose. What are you working toward? What are your goals, your dreams, your aspirations? What kind of person do you want to become? These questions are the compass that guides your actions. Write down your answers. Get clear on what you want and why you want it. Clarity creates focus, and focus is a powerful motivator. Once you're clear on your purpose, it's time to plan. A weekend without a plan is like a ship without a destination. It drifts aimlessly and ends up nowhere. Planning your weekend doesn't mean scheduling every minute of your day, but it does mean setting clear intentions for what you want to accomplish. Think about the tasks, projects, or activities that will move you closer to your goals. Write them down and make them specific. Don't just write, be productive. Write 500 words for my book, or clean out the garage, or prepare meals for the week. Specificity creates accountability, and accountability keeps you motivated. But let's be clear, staying motivated doesn't mean working nonstop. Motivation requires energy, and energy requires rest. The weekend is an ideal time to recharge, both physically and mentally. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's what allows you to show up as your best self, ready to tackle challenges with clarity and strength. Recharging starts with taking care of your body. Physical activity is one of the most effective ways to boost your energy and improve your mood. You go for a run, do some yoga, or take a hike in nature. Exercise doesn't just benefit your body, it clears your mind and releases endorphins that make you feel good. And when you feel good, you're more motivated to take on the day. Recharging also means taking care of your mind. Spend some time reading a book that inspires you, listening to a podcast that challenges your thinking, or journaling your thoughts and ideas. Mental stimulation keeps you sharp and engaged, and it reminds you of the bigger picture you're working toward. But don't forget about your emotions. Motivation is deeply connected to how you feel. You spend time with people who uplift you, who support your goals, and who remind you of your worth. Connect with loved ones, have meaningful conversations, and surround yourself with positivity. Emotional well-being is the foundation of sustained motivation. Another powerful tool for staying motivated during the weekend is focusing on small wins. Too often, we get caught up in the big picture, the long-term goals, the major milestones, and we forget to celebrate the small victories along the way. But those small wins are what keep us going. They remind us that we're making progress, even if it's one step at a time. Use the weekend to tackle a few small tasks that have been lingering on your to-do list. Maybe it's organizing your workspace, catching up on emails, or finally starting the project you've been procrastinating on. Each small task you complete is a step forward, and each step forward builds momentum. And momentum is the key to staying motivated. Once you're in motion, it's easier to keep going. But motivation isn't just about doing, it's also about reflecting. The weekend is the perfect time to step back and take a look at where you are on your journey. What progress have you made? What challenges have you faced? What lessons have you learned? Reflection isn't just about patting yourself on the back for what you've done well. It's also about being honest with yourself about where you can improve. It's about identifying the habits, behaviors, or patterns that are holding you back and making a plan to change them. While you're reflecting, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is worth acknowledging. Too often, we're so focused on the finish line that we forget to appreciate the journey. But it's the journey that shapes us, that teaches us, that makes us who we are. Celebrate the effort you put in, the challenges you've overcome, and the progress you've made. Those moments of celebration fuel your motivation to keep going. And as you reflect on the past, take some time to look ahead. Use the weekend to set your intentions for the week to come. What do you want to achieve? What challenges do you anticipate? What steps can you take to prepare for them? Write it all down. A written plan isn't just a list of tasks, it's a declaration of your commitment to yourself and your goals. Motivation isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create. It's a habit, a mindset, a way of life. And the weekend is your laboratory for cultivating that motivation. It's a time to experiment, to try new things, to push yourself out of your comfort zone. It's a time to reconnect with your purpose, to refocus on your goals, and to recharge your energy. So how do you stay motivated during the weekend? You stay motivated by treating it as an opportunity, not a break. You stay motivated by planning with intention, by balancing rest and action, and by focusing on small wins. You stay motivated by reflecting on your journey, by celebrating your progress, and by looking ahead to the future. This weekend, don't just let the days slip by. Don't just exist, thrive. Take control of your time. Use these 2 days to invest in yourself, to grow, and to move closer to your dreams. Because when Monday comes, you won't just be ready for the week will be ready for you. And that, my friends, is how you stay motivated during the weekend. As the weekend approaches, there's a sense of freedom in the air, a feeling that we can leave behind the structured demands of the week and enjoy the precious time off. For many, it's a time to disconnect from work, to rest, to indulge in leisure activities, and simply enjoy a break from the fast pace of daily life. And while there's nothing wrong with taking time to rest and recharge, it's also important to recognize that the weekend holds far more potential than just being a break. The weekend can be an incredibly powerful time to invest in yourself, to pursue your goals, and to set yourself up for success. The difference between simply getting through the weekend and using it to move forward in life lies in how you approach it. Motivation is a force that can propel you toward success, and is something that requires care, focus, and intention to maintain. Too many people make the mistake of thinking that motivation is something that simply appears when needed. But the truth is, motivation is built, nurtured, and sustained through consistent effort. And the weekend? It's the perfect opportunity to cultivate that motivation, to refine your habits, and to sharpen your focus so that when the work week comes, you're not just ready, you're more than ready. But how do you stay motivated during the weekend? The key lies in recognizing that motivation isn't just about pushing yourself through the grind. It's about finding ways to engage with your work and your goals in a way that keeps you energized, inspired, and driven. It's about finding that delicate balance between rest and productivity, between effort and reflection. Staying motivated over the weekend requires intentionality and clarity of purpose. One of the first steps to staying motivated during the weekend is to shift your mindset about the weekend itself. Too often people see the weekend as a break from their goals and responsibilities. It's as if the weekend is a time to press pause on the progress they're making and take a step back from the effort they're putting in. But what if the weekend could be a time to double down on what truly matters? What if instead of viewing the weekend as a break from work, you saw it as a chance to get ahead, to sharpen your focus, and to invest in your future? This shift in perspective is powerful because it reframes how you view the time you have on the weekend. Instead of seeing it as a set of 2 days to simply escape or unwind, you can begin to see it as an opportunity for growth, for deepening your connection to your goals, and for fine-tuning the habits and actions that will take you where you want to go. Think of the weekend as an investment in your future self. What you do on the weekend can either propel you toward your goals or delay your progress, so why not make it count? Staying motivated during the weekend requires a clear sense of purpose. Without purpose, it's easy to become distracted, to lose focus, and to let the days pass by without making any real progress. Motivation thrives when you have a strong sense of direction, when you know exactly what you're working toward. That's why it's essential to take the time to clarify your goals before the weekend arrives. If you're unsure about what you want to accomplish over the weekend, take a moment to pause, reflect, and make a list of your priorities. What are the most important tasks you need to focus on? What steps can you take to move closer to your goals? Having a clear sense of purpose will provide the motivation you need to stay on track, to stay focused, and to continue pushing forward even when the temptation to relax and take a break is strong. But let's be clear, motivation isn't about constantly pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. It's not about working nonstop, burning the candle at both ends, and never taking a moment to rest. In fact, one of the most important components of staying motivated is ensuring that you're giving yourself enough time to recharge. If you neglect self-care, your motivation will quickly fade, and you'll find yourself feeling drained, uninspired, and overwhelmed. The weekend is the perfect time to rest, to nourish your body and mind, and to give yourself the space you need to recharge. But rest doesn't mean complete disengagement from your goals. It means intentional relaxation and rejuvenation that enables you to show up the next day with more energy and focus. Consider incorporating activities that nourish both your body and your mind. Physical exercise is a great way to clear your mind, release tension, and boost your energy. Whether it's a jog, a bike ride, yoga, or a long walk, moving your body will help increase circulation, elevate your mood, and enhance your ability to focus when you return to your tasks. Mental relaxation is just as important. Take some time to read, meditate, or simply take a break from technology. Mental breaks can help you reset, gain clarity, and refresh your perspective. Giving your mind time to wander and reset also creates space for new ideas, insights, and creative solutions. It's also important to make time for personal connection, whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, catching up with friends, or simply engaging in social activities that bring you joy. Emotional nourishment is key to staying motivated. Surrounding yourself with positivity, support, and encouragement helps you maintain your sense of purpose and reminds you why you're working so hard in the first place. Another crucial element in staying motivated during the weekend is focusing on small wins. It's easy to get discouraged when we only focus on the big picture, on the end goal. But real motivation comes from seeing progress along the way, from recognizing that even small actions add up to big results. The weekend is a great time to check off a few smaller tasks that will bring you closer to your larger objectives. Maybe you have a big project or long-term goal that feels overwhelming, but instead of focusing solely on that massive outcome, break it down into smaller, more manageable tasks. Tackle a couple of those tasks over the weekend and celebrate those small victories. Each completed task will give you a sense of accomplishment, which will fuel your motivation to keep going. Completing small wins doesn't just give you a sense of achievement, it also helps build momentum. Motivation often follows momentum, and once you've completed a few small tasks, it becomes easier to keep moving forward. That's why it's so important to stay consistent and to keep making progress, no matter how small it may seem. The key is to keep the momentum flowing, even when the weekend temptations try to pull you away from your goals. But motivation is also about reflection. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life and forget to pause and reflect on where you are and where you're headed. The weekend provides an ideal opportunity to step back, take stock, and evaluate your progress. Reflect on the steps you've taken, the challenges you've overcome, and the lessons you've learned along the way. Reflection is also a chance to assess what's working and what's not. Are there habits or strategies that have been helping you stay motivated? Are there areas where you've been falling short? Take the time to honestly evaluate your progress and identify areas for improvement. This kind of reflection will help you adjust your approach and ensure that you're staying on course. Of course, the weekend is also a time to prepare for the week ahead. Use the weekend to plan and set your intentions for the upcoming days. What do you want to achieve? What tasks or challenges do you need to tackle? Taking time to plan ahead will give you a clear roadmap for the week, which will help you stay focused and motivated as soon as Monday arrives. Ultimately, staying motivated during the weekend is about creating a balance between productivity and rest, action and reflection, focus and relaxation. It's about taking the time to recharge, to reflect on your journey, and to set yourself up for the week ahead. The weekend isn't just a time to escape from your responsibilities. It's an opportunity to build momentum, gain clarity, and align yourself with your long-term goals. When you approach the weekend with intention, when you make the most of the time you have, you're not just investing in the present, you're investing in your future. So don't let the weekend slip away without using it to move closer to your dreams. Stay motivated, stay focused, and make the most of these 2 precious days. Because when Monday comes, you'll be ready not just for the new week, but for whatever challenges and opportunities lie ahead. A conclusion is where you wrap everything up, and when it comes to life, goals, and motivation, the conclusion isn't about shutting the door on your efforts, it's about opening a new one. It's about taking everything you've learned, reflecting on how far you've come, and then choosing to move forward with a sense of purpose and direction. But there's more to it than just acknowledging progress. It's about making the decision to continue that progress, to not settle for where you are, and to continually elevate yourself, your goals, and your dreams. Every day is an opportunity, a chance to take a step forward. Every moment that you spend working toward your goals, even if it's a small effort, builds the foundation for something bigger, something greater. You are the sum of the actions you take, the decisions you make, and the attitude you cultivate. Each choice, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, plays a role in the larger narrative of your life. The question is, are you making those choices consciously with awareness and intention? Are you living with purpose, or are you letting the days pass by, unaware of how each one is shaping your future? As you reflect on your journey, whether it's through the lens of a single day, a single week, or a broader stretch of time, remember that nothing is ever static. The world around you is in a constant state of flux, and so are you. Growth, development, and success don't happen overnight. They are the result of consistent, intentional effort over time. Whether you're pursuing personal goals, professional dreams, or seeking to become a better version of yourself, the road ahead is long and winding, but every step you take moves you closer to where you want to be. The path may not always be clear, and there will undoubtedly be obstacles along the way, but it's how you respond to those challenges that will determine your success. The process of self-improvement and goal achievement is often slow, and at times it can be frustrating. You might look at the distance between where you are and where you want to be, and feel disheartened by the gap. But I encourage you to shift your perspective. Success isn't a destination, it's a journey. The process of becoming, of evolving, of growing, this is what success truly looks like. There's beauty in the journey itself, in the small victories and the lessons learned along the way. Every setback is an opportunity to rise stronger, and every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. One of the most important realizations you can have as you pursue your dreams is that motivation isn't something that happens to you, it's something you cultivate. It's a mindset, a habit, and an ongoing process that requires nurturing. Motivation isn't something you wait for to strike like lightning, it's something you build steadily every single day. Whether through developing habits, setting clear goals, maintaining a positive mindset, or surrounding yourself with inspiration, motivation is something you create, and while it may come and go, if you've built strong habits and have established a resilient mindset, you can always rely on the foundation you've built to keep you moving forward. One of the most powerful elements of staying motivated is understanding that it's a dynamic force, not a static one. Motivation ebbs and flows, and that's okay. The key is to create a system for yourself that keeps you on track when your motivation feels low. Structure, consistency, and discipline can carry you through the times when motivation isn't as abundant. This is where the idea of momentum comes into play. Small actions, even when motivation is lacking, create momentum. And momentum is the key to making progress. Once you start, it's much easier to keep going. Momentum propels you forward, even when motivation seems to be nowhere in sight. As you continue on your journey, remember that staying motivated is not just about working harder, pushing yourself constantly, and never stopping. It's about working smarter, being strategic, and knowing when to rest. Motivation thrives in environments where there is balance, where you can take inspired action, but also give yourself permission to recharge when needed. Burnout comes from overexertion without adequate recovery, so it's crucial to find a rhythm that allows you to perform at your highest level while also honoring your need for rest and renewal. Taking time to pause and recharge doesn't mean you're not working hard. It simply means you're being intentional about your energy, ensuring that you don't run on empty. Along this journey, there will be moments of doubt. There will be times when you question whether it's all worth it, when you wonder if you're on the right path, or when you feel like giving up. And that's okay. These moments are part of the process. They're part of being human. The key isn't avoiding doubt, it's learning how to navigate through it, to keep moving forward even when the road feels uncertain. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, is a trait that can be cultivated just like motivation. Every time you face adversity and choose to rise above it, you become stronger, more capable, and more confident in your ability to overcome whatever challenges come your way. The ultimate key to staying motivated is to stay connected to your why, the reason you're doing what you're doing. Your why is your anchor, the thing that keeps you grounded when everything else feels chaotic. When you know why you're pursuing a particular goal or dream, it's easier to weather the storms. Your why gives you purpose, and that purpose provides the fuel to keep moving forward even when things get tough. The stronger your connection to your why, the more deeply ingrained your motivation becomes. When you have a clear sense of purpose, even the most difficult tasks can feel meaningful because you know that every effort you put in is bringing you closer to your bigger vision. In the face of challenges, it's easy to feel like progress isn't happening fast enough. It's easy to compare yourself to others and wonder why things aren't moving at the same pace. But this is where patience becomes a powerful tool. Remember that everyone's journey is unique. Your timeline is your own, and it's okay if your path looks different from someone else's. Patience doesn't mean complacency. It means trusting the process, knowing that every action you take today is laying the groundwork for a future you can be proud of. Success, fulfillment, and happiness are not destinations, they are ongoing pursuits. They are states of being that you continue to build layer by layer with each decision you make, each action you take, and each lesson you learn. The journey will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward creating a life that reflects your true potential, your deepest desires, and your highest aspirations. So as you continue to pursue your goals, embrace the journey, trust that the work you're doing now will pay off in the future. Know that staying motivated isn't about pushing yourself relentlessly, it's about building habits, developing resilience, and staying connected to your purpose. It's about understanding that success is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep showing up, keep doing the work, and trust that with time, consistency, and the right mindset, you will create the life you've always dreamed of. In conclusion, the most important thing you can do is stay the course. Stay motivated, stay focused, and stay true to yourself. You know that every effort you make is a step toward your ultimate vision. The journey may not always be easy, but with patience, perseverance, and belief in yourself, there is no limit to what you can achieve. You keep moving forward because your future self will thank you for the commitment, effort, and persistence you showed today.